Back in the early 2000s, when superhero movies were starting to dominate Hollywood, Hancock came crashing in with something refreshingly different. Instead of the polished, perfect hero we were used to, this film gave us a reckless, sarcastic, and hilariously flawed character who felt both relatable and wildly entertaining. Although the movie wasn't a flawless masterpiece, it was pure fun. With Will Smith giving it his all, balancing charm and chaos in equal measure, the film delivered a unique spin on the comic superhero genre that audiences couldn't resist, and it paid off. Hancock became a commercial and critical success, carving out its place as one of the most genuinely fun superhero movies of its time. But beyond the laughs and explosive action, the film is packed with hidden layers of fun facts, behind-the-scenes stories, and clever details that many viewers might have missed on their first watch. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into this chaotic, fun action comedy and discover the hidden details that lie beneath. The movie started out with a darker script than what audiences eventually saw. In that early version, Hancock wasn't just a messy, low-life superhero. He was also portrayed as sexually frustrated because his powers made him intimately deadly, meaning he couldn't sleep with a woman without killing her. One extreme scene even showed his orgasm as explosively destructive. And although the MPAA surprisingly cleared it for release, test audiences didn't find it funny, so it was cut. Over time, the filmmakers softened the tone to make the movie more suitable as a summer blockbuster for a wide audience, shifting away from the bleakness of the original concept. Even then, the MPAA initially rated the film R twice due to strong language and violence, and only after trimming those elements did the movie finally land a PG-13 rating, which helped it reach a broader crowd. Will Smith has always been a big fan of professional wrestling, and when he took on the role of Hancock, he actually thought of the character in terms of one of his wrestling heroes, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin was famous for being a rebellious, tough, beer-drinking anti-hero who didn't care about rules or authority, and Smith imagined Hancock in the same way. That comparison helped shape Hancock's personality as a rough-around-the-edges, grumpy and reckless figure who still had a certain charm underneath. In the movie, there's a fun hidden detail during the scene where Ray has his first PR meeting to discuss his charity program. The board members in that meeting aren't just random extras, they're actually played by real Hollywood producers and filmmakers. Among them are Akiva Goldsman and Michael Mann, both of whom have strong ties to Will Smith's career. Goldsman worked with Smith as a producer and writer on films like I Am Legend, while Mann directed Smith in Ali, the biopic where Smith played legendary boxer Muhammad Ali. Their cameo appearances serve as subtle nods to Smith's past collaborations, making the scene a little inside joke for fans who recognize these behind-the-scenes figures. The story of Hancock's development is surprisingly long and complicated. The script was first written by Vi Vincent back in 1996, but it sat unused for nearly a decade before Sony picked it up in 2005 and asked Vince Gilligan to rewrite it, with Jonathan Mostow lined up to direct for a planned 2007 release. When Mostow dropped out in May 2006, Gabriele Muccino, who had just directed Will Smith in The Pursuit of Happiness, was briefly attached. But while that film was being edited, Smith moved on to I Am Legend, and Muccino soon left due to creative differences. By October 2006, Peter Berg stepped in as director, saying he wanted to make a comic book-style movie for his young son, who often visited him in the editing room while he worked on The Kingdom. Interestingly, the DVD extras reveal that Michael Mann was originally considered to direct, but he felt the heavy use of CGI sets didn't suit his style and recommended Berg instead. All these changes show how the film bounced between writers and directors for years before finally coming together. Before Hancock was shaped into a Will Smith blockbuster, the role of the troubled superhero went through a long list of possible stars. Over the years, big names like George Clooney, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and Leonardo DiCaprio were all considered to play the lead. At one point, comedian Dave Chappelle was even seriously considered for the role, which would have given the film a very different tone and style. These casting possibilities highlight how uncertain the movie's direction was before Smith came on board, ultimately transforming it into the version audiences know today. Hancock turned out to be a major box office success for Will Smith, ranking as his 5th highest-grossing film worldwide behind Aladdin, Independence Day, Suicide Squad, and Men in Black 3. Domestically, it continued Smith's streak of hits, becoming his 6th consecutive movie to earn over $100 million in the US, which showed just how reliable he was as a blockbuster star at the time. On a larger scale, Hancock also made history in the superhero genre, becoming the 2nd highest-grossing original superhero movie worldwide, coming in just behind Pixar's The Incredibles. At the very start of the movie, the group of robbers driving the white SUV are actually speaking Vietnamese, which is a subtle detail that might go unnoticed by many viewers. To make the connection even clearer, the filmmakers included a Vietnamese flag inside their vehicle, which makes the scene even funnier when Hancock mistakes them for being Japanese, since he didn't notice the flag hanging in the car, or that he wouldn't even know what it represents. Director Peter Berg has mentioned that a sequel to Hancock is being developed with the idea of introducing a 3rd character who shares the same powers as Hancock and Mary, which could expand the mythology of the story. Adding to the excitement, Will Smith himself teased in February 2025 that a sequel is officially in development, and revealed that he's trying to bring Zendaya on board for the project. Rewatching Hancock after knowing the big twist makes the film feel full of hidden clues that point to what's coming. One of the clearest examples is when Mary casually mentions that Hancock's hand is bruised, which seems small at first, but actually hints that his transformation into a mortal has already started. This detail connects directly to the later revelation that Hancock and Mary lose their powers when they're close to each other, meaning his vulnerability was showing long before the audience understood why. These subtle touches make the second viewing richer, because you can spot how the filmmakers planted signs of the story's deeper mythology early on. And that wraps up this deep dive into Hancock. If you enjoyed uncovering these facts, don't forget to smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And hit the subscribe button, so you'll always be up to date with the latest fun facts videos. Until next time, thanks for watching, stay sharp, and we'll see you in the next one.